Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Broadhurst Park. FC United Manchester versus Salford City. I'd like to say the biggest derby in the city. I got told off before, but I'm maintaining by that. It's a big clash between two rivals, and it should be a good one this afternoon. I'm Will Moorcroft, alongside me I've got Joe Cannon this afternoon, and I don't know about you, Joe, but I've been excited for this one all week, ever since, well, Tuesday night, and couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's my first visit to Broadhurst Park as well. There's a big atmosphere. We've got a great view to call this, Will, as well, and it's the new non-league Manchester derby, as John O called it in the week, and I think it's going to be a good one.
Salford going to be kicking us off, kicking left to right towards St Mary's Road end, and in their blue kit this afternoon, FC United in their traditional red kit, with red shirts, white shorts and black socks are underway, and Salford play it back out to Patrick Brough, the left back, is kicking into the SMRE. I mean, you can hear the sound from up here. I don't know how well it's coming through, but it's pretty phenomenal, isn't it, the sound that they make here. It's this Port-based FC. It's fantastic.
It definitely is. The sound around the ground, and obviously it's no segregation today, so it's all fans mixed in together, and I'm sure we'll hear the Salford lot as well piping up very soon. And whether you agree with what FC United are and how they do things, you know, it's a spectacle here today. It's a great atmosphere, and like I say, it's one we're all excited for.
And not just with the songs, but obviously Battle of Two Dirty Old Towns that were song about Salford, written in Salford, sang by Salford, and FC have their own adaptations, so I'm sure that'll be another battle off the pitch to be considered. It's feeling got quite nice here at Broadhurst as well. There's not too many people with half an hour to go, but it's looking pretty full now. I'd say a good 3,000 at least, and I'd be disappointed if there were less. It's a foul on the far side. Brad Barnes brings down Dale Tong, so early chance for FC to whip a ball into the box, be looking to make their mark on set pieces as well. FC United will. Didn't get off to the best start last weekend at Harrogate Town, conceded after the third minute, and I'm sure Adriano Basso, after a bit of a nightmare in that game, I think it's fair to say, will be keen to make amends, but Jay Lynch is going to be the first keeper to be tested from this free kick. It's on the right hand side. Just waiting for a new ball to come across. And it gets there. It's a two-man war for Salford. It's Green and James Poole. He was dubbed the next Leo Messi. It was a big thing down at Everton. The Burnley youngster is on loan for the rest of the season. He's started this season at Kilmarnock. Now he finds himself at Salford. Be keen to make an impression, I'm sure, but he'll want to be at the other ends. Jerome Wright's still waiting to take this free kick. It's going to come in now, and in swinging from the captain, so cleared at the near post, and Green, heavy touch, takes it into Tom Brown. Ball's played back into the box by FC, but it's out to play, and Salford have a goal kick. It was slow starts to the game, maybe not the one you would have expected, but we were saying before, weren't we, it's going to be judged on the first tackle, and that one going in from Brad Barnes, as we were saying. It was quite the rough one, no yellow card for it, deservedly, but it's set the tone for this game. Yeah,
typical Brad Barnes, isn't it? A nice early challenge where he gets the ball on the man. He doesn't really care, does he? As long as he gets an early one in there. But no, Salford not really got out of their own half in this opening couple of minutes. FC United be pleased with the start.
Played back forward by Chris Chandler, giving away to his former Man City teammate James Poole, but he stabs it back to Scott Burton. Burton back to Barnes, headed back forward by Harry Winter. Back into the side this afternoon. It's now Gilchrist trying to break forward. Jay Lynch gets there ahead of him, gets the clearance up to the left hand side, out to play for a throw in to FC United and Manchester. Still the ones who've dominated this. Salford just trying the best to clear the ball instead of trying to get it down and play, but FC very quick on Salford in the middle of the park there.
Yeah, as you say, the fans are up for it and the team are up for it. Well, they've reacted to the fans are reacting off the team, and it's they're just going to hang in these opening couple of minutes, Salford, and work their way into this game.
Barnes playing the ball over the top, looking for the run of Jordy Hume up against Sam Baird at the moment, the youngster who's had a vouch confidence for a manager Carl Marginson since he's put into the side. He's trying to repay that. FC, as we know, don't have a bad record of bringing centre-backs through, just having the likes over the last few years. So Billy Priestley winding up a long throw-in. Duty's fought him today. Josh Hine back on the subs bench. Salford's first chance to, well, it's the first opportunity they've had in the FC final third. In comes throw from Priestley towards the near post. It's cleared by George Thompson. Only to Brad Barnes. His header falls kindly for Matt Wolfenden. Plays ball at the right hand side for Gilchrist to chase. Burton gets his body in the way and turns well. Scott Burton does, and heavy touch takes it away. James Poole picks it up, plays the ball again up over the top to the left hand side for Hume to chase. Bounce out to play for an FC throw in the right back position. Just 4.5 minutes gone, still 0-0 here at Broadhurst Park. A bit of a shake-off from Salford. We saw it at Halifax last week. We went on to score first, so I won't worry Byrne and Johnny too much there. Wolfenden tries to thread the ball through for Gilchrist. Foot in from Simon Grant. Another throw in for FC on that far side. Try and bring you updates elsewhere as well. Some big games on the league, isn't it? FC Fylde versus Altrincham, Halifax versus Stockport. And how do you feel that one will go for Stockport being a Stockport fan?
Yeah, I don't think particularly that County will be looking forward to going there with the form that Halifax are in at the moment, but a side that concedes goals and scores goals, so I'm sure we'll have a few goal updates from the Shea this afternoon, Will.
Another throw in on the far side, Poole with the clearance there. There's no real rhythm yet, is there, in these opening 5 minutes? It's FC have probably had the dominant side, but neither team's been able to get down. You can tell that both sides don't want to concede too much possession or concede any sort of ground in the opening stage. It could be like this for another 5-10 minutes, I fear.
Yeah, actually, FC have definitely been the better side, but have they created any clear-cut chances? Have they had a shot on target? Their answer is no. So in that regard, Salford will be happy that Salford haven't really had an effort as yet.
Ball's played back across to Michael Nottingham. He's looking to bring it clear. He's been the subject of a bit of transfer speculation as well, but he's put in a couple of really good performances in these last couple of games. He gives it away there though. Nice little back heel by Harry Winter, and FC have possession back down the right hand side with Dale Tong. Cuts inside, plays ball up into show you who that was. Priestley gets his body in the way though, plays back to Lynch, and Lynch gets the clearance. FC plays some nice little stuff. They're trying to get the rhythm going if they can. It's a good challenge in the middle though, and Salford win it back. George Green now on the right hand side, see what he can do. His first real chance, slight tug on the shirt there by Tom Brown. Referee's not interested, out for a throw in to FC United. I think you shake your head there, Phil Brennan.
It's, the both teams are still feeling each other out, aren't there? There's no obvious winner at the moment, but I'm still waiting for the first big challenge of the game, which I think will get the game really, really going. Gilchrist is looking sharp, but I think Billy Priestley's got the mark of him so far for the whole side, and I think the game's going to get better as it goes on.
There's a lunging chance from Harry Winter to try and win the ball back ahead of James Poole. Patrick Brough gets his head on the clearance, so Simon Grant sends it back up the other way. It's Sam Baird who's got his body in the way there. It's an offside decision against, I think that must have been Mike Phoenix. So a free kick to come for FC United. And I noticed against Harrogate last weekend, I watched the highlights, and FC, they played at a much slower tempo than I'm used to seeing them playing. It was a little bit surprising, but showing that maybe they're trying to adapt the way when they've got to play against the bigger teams.
Yeah, possibly. I think they've started quite up-tempo here. It was just interesting a moment where when George Green got his first bit of action, a blatant pull on him right in front of the linesman, and he didn't take any notice of it whatsoever. I don't know if we've got one of those set of officials where the linesmen aren't allowed to flag it for anything today, but it'd be interesting to see how that carries on with these officials, because we're going to need strong officials for this match. Thompson
puts cross into the middle. Billy Priestley gets his head on the end of it, heads it back out towards where Thompson is, and lets it go out for a throw-in. Priestley, man of the match on Tuesday, he's won pretty much everything that came at him, and so I'm sure he'll be looking to continue that momentum. Obviously, I think everyone had a bit of a shock last Saturday, and Tuesday's perfect response for Salford, trying to break here. Poole threads the ball through the middle for Jordan Hume to chase on to. Chandler gets his foot there to it and plays back to Basso, who also had a bit of a nightmare last weekend from what I saw on the highlights. But he angles his goal kick out to the right hand side. Grant does get it back to Jay Lynch. Got a bit of work to do to get onto the end of this one, but he does pick it up. It's been closed down by Gilchrist. Does get it clear upfield though. Hume is fouled by Fag Bowler there. He's giving Johnny Hume a hug from behind. But again, referee says no. Michael Nottingham picks it up, goes through the legs of Jerome Wright, but runs into Chris Chandler. And Chandler gets it clear, brought down well by James Poole in the middle. Plays it out to the left hand side to Paddy Brough. Brough taking on Matt Wolfenden, still going with it. Carlisle Loney. Wolfenden gets a foot in there himself for a throw into Salford on that far side, so I think it's going to go short before Priestley can get up and take the throw in. Taken quickly, Green, that's a nice bit of skill to get past his man. Still going, George Green, edge of the area, shot! Flashes just wide to far post, but the first attempt on goal, and it was a good one as well from the Loney midfielder.
Yeah, great bit of skill, showing what he's all about there, wasn't he? He reminded me of a certain Loney from Fleetwood, with the way he went past the couple there and got the shot away, just off target, but very bright signs for the new signing, very bright indeed.
Yeah, he was reading around this week, he was dubbed the next Messi, he was meant to be one of the big things at Everton. And he'll be looking to make an impression, like I say, he's very Nick Horton-esque, the way that he just drifted in field and beat his man on the left-hand side there, and FC are really going to have to watch out for him in this game as well. With James Poole as well, you've got a lot of flair in the midfield there, and with Jordan and Fino, you've got a problem. It's Poole coming forward now, Edgiera goes to the shot, it's a good save by Basso to push it wide, it was on target from Poole, plenty of power behind it, and Basso had to be alert to that one, he pushed it round, and Salford in this last minute just really going into the game, a couple of efforts, and now they're the ones starting to put a stamp on it.
They are, without the intervention of Basso there, that's 1-0 to Salford, that was heading into the top corner, great effort from him, Basso just with an outstretched hand, tips it over, but Salford really putting the pressure on now.
Corner coming in, George Green looks like he's on corner duty, gets crossed into near post, it's flicked up by Johnny Humes, not quite gone out yet, Basso punches it clear, and it's going to be another corner for Salford. It was a very interesting way that Hume put it up in the air. I'm not sure if it was the way that his body was angled, he couldn't get anything on target, but did the right thing, forced Basso into a save. Second corner comes in from Green again towards near post, flicked on, and it's this time I think Billy Priestley or Mike Phoenix headed it wide at the near post, and it's out for a goal kick to FC United, but a couple of promising signs from Salford there, Phil.
Yeah, keeper's done well there, but I think Phoenix will be holding his head for a long time. That was a goal all over. A great little flick on at the near post, great training ground routine. And Phoenix in the form he's in, you'd expect that to have nestled into the roof of the net. And you just seen him kneeling down in front of the FC fans, and they're all laughing at him. So let's hope he's got the last laugh.
Yeah, 2 goals in his last 2 games. What made me laugh, someone's got an umbrella over there. I don't know if you noticed it, it's got a rather obscene gesture on top of it, just by the goalpost there. Imagine if Salford carry on having a go at that goal, that might make the highlights, so it's one to keep an eye out for. It's certainly giving us a lift. AFC failed to take the lead at home against Altrincham. No prizes for guessing it's Danny Rowe who's got that one. He's not moved to Ipswich. Shot from George Green, it's a stinging one into Adrian Basso, who's nice set up as well for Green. It fell for him nicely on the half volley, and it was, well again, Basso punching it clear. Wasn't the most convincing, but there's a lot of power in that shot.
Yeah, that's the 3rd shot from the edge of the area. FC United not learning the lesson, are they, at all, in closing down that space. It was great technique from the new signing, but fortunately for FC United, it was straight out Basso.
Goal for Curzon Ashton as well, away at Darlington, as Phoenix trying to make his way into the box. It's 1-0 to Curzon. Ryan Hall with the goal there. So Chris Chandler being put under pressure, gets it clear into his captain Jerome Wright, though. He's not really had a chance on the ball. He's fouled from behind by Michael Nottingham in a free kick for FC United in Manchester, as Anthony Johnson barks out a few orders to Brad Barnes and Scott Burton. I think a lot of fans are excited to see them play together. I think the last time they played together was Stockport away in the league, or it might be in the cup, and fans are impressed with them then, but first chance since then. Sam Walker still out injured. Took a pretty nice one at Halifax last week, but you get a lot of industry in the midfield there with them too, I think.
Yeah, I think Scott Burton, obviously, when he was missing, he's obviously a big miss for Salford, so they got to...
Paul driving forward, he slits the ball out to Green on the right-hand side, up against Chandler at the moment, still going Green, drifts in field, still going towards the edge of the box, top of the box now, slips into Poole, ball touch onto his right foot, drags it into far corner, Salford take the lead here, and that is a lovely, lovely move, and really well finished off by James Poole. George Green finished right-hand side, drifted it in, slit a lovely ball through to Poole. Poole shifts onto his right, there's the space, he wasn't closed down, and Salford have, well, deserved leads on the last few minutes here.
Yeah, it was those 2 players, wasn't it? Green and Poole, they both looked dangerous in the last couple of minutes, they've both had efforts, this time they combined together. Green finding space again on the edge of the area to Poole, and Poole did excellently to turn, shoot, into the bottom corner, excellent finish, no chance for Basso, and some fans are really excited, Will.
Definitely, pyrotechnic devices, BBC were calling it in the FA Cup game at lunchtime, I heard on the radio on the way in. So good to see a bit of atmosphere from Salford fans. You don't always get it, even by our own admission. But a lot of credit there's got to go to George Greenfield.
He's opened them up brilliantly, but the best thing about that goal for me was James Poole knowing if he took a touch to his right, he'd open up the defenders, and anywhere on target, the keeper couldn't see it. He had no chance, and he's been brilliant so far. He's made 2 really good saves and a couple of easy saves, but he's been the difference, and to find a way past him, you've got to mask him. Brilliant bit of masking by James Poole. That's a proper striker's goal.
You can always tell with Poole, he loves having to play with a bit of flair. When Nick was here on loan, like you were saying before, Poole absolutely thrived off that flair. He loves that sort of player, so I'll be hoping for better things. FC coming here though. Gilchrist cuts into the left hand side, sends PC dummy, still going. Gilchrist low shot into Jay Lynch, who fumbled it, but he recovered well, made the save, and keeping Salford ahead there. He'll be looking for another clean sheet. I think he's got 12 now in the league this season, and he's been a massive part of what Salford have done this season to be up where we are.
He has indeed. I think if that's the best save he has to make today, they'll be happy, because it's pretty much straight at him. But just a warning sign there for Salford that they can't switch off.
Salford looking to come forward again. Poole sits it through to Hume, who's onside on the left hand side here. Hume up against Del Tong, still going, tries to play the ball into middle. It's cleared well by Tom Brown out for a throw, and Salford on the far side. But that's what you can never write FC off with the fan base and everything, but the one thing about Salford, you don't want to give them that chance to go ahead, because they don't like throwing a lead away. I know we did last Saturday, but it was a very, very rare occasion, and they'll be up for this one. And speaking to Scott Burton yesterday, and he can't wait to get back into the team and get going again. So I think Salford will be protecting this lead very preciously by going out and attacking. FC have got to watch themselves as much as Salford have got to be careful not to concede.
Yeah, I mean, taking away last Saturday's obviously sort of whatever happened last Saturday, it was just madness, wasn't it, really? But taking away that Salford's defensive record in the last 3 months has been absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, they'll be thinking they can stay firm and solid, but at the moment they've got another chance for a free kick here to cause FC more problems.
It is Scott Burton looking to dip it in. Whether he's deserved 10 yellow cards or not this season, I don't think he has. Obviously, the officials say otherwise. A few other people are with me though. He's not deserved it, but you've got to serve your ban, and he'll be looking to come back here and carry on making that impression that he always does. Puts the cross in here. It's headed clear at the near post by Harry Winter, but it's cleared by Jerome Wright. Put back in by Bradley Barnes. So it's headed clear again, this time by Dale Tong. Scott Burton trying to win it. It's a foul against Matthew Wolfenden, so a free kick coming up for FC United. It's just those little silly ones. I think you might get a bit of an accumulation of them. But fair play to FC fans, have not stopped yet and not got down. I'm sure they'll get behind the team and try and rally themselves back into it. No,
even if they're 4-0 down, they'll still carry on chanting. But on the Scott Burton thing, I think he's that kind of player where he needs to put his foot in. That's the job he does for Salford. So if he picks up a few other cards, then so be it, because that's his job in there, and he does it very well.
Grant on the ball now, plays ball through the middle to James Poole, who's got space to move into, plays out to right hand side to Green. Nottingham on the overlap, Green drifting in field again, squares it into Poole. It's just a little bit behind him. He's balled up there, James Poole has. I know that he's had an issue with his hamstring in the last few weeks, that's why he's not played too much, and I think he might have just overdone it there, which will be a shame if he's got to go off. Yeah,
on his haunches, isn't he, and just rubbing that, he's left the hamstring by the look of it as well. With hamstring injuries, it's not the kind you can usually run off as it will, and if you said he's had some issues with it, probably why he wasn't playing Tuesday, I'm guessing, it's probably best if he leaves the pitch, and that's a real shame if he has to, because he's been brilliant in this opening period.
Yeah, as a precaution, you'd obviously want to bring him off. Some big games coming up for Salford. Files next weekend, it's away to Gloucester the weekend after, and then the double header against Sabre, Celtic in the NPC, and then in the league. So I think that's a precaution. You look at the bench, and we've said it before this season, Craig King can come on and play there, Rich Allen can, Josh Allen can, JJ could as well, so you've got 4 out of 5 substitutes who are ready to come on. But I think maybe that's why. Do you think Salford have been so good going forward in the last 3 months or so, because there's now so much competition, and obviously George Green's come into it this week and gone straight in?
Yeah, I just about to say, you bring George Green as well, it's almost greediness from the two bosses, isn't it, really? It's almost greediness from them too, and there's so many options, as you say, on the bench. And what's been so good for Salford in the opening period is the way Poole and Green have been interchanging between the centre and the right hand side, and they've caused FC so many problems. They've had so much space in there to work, and James Poole just coming off in front of us now, and it looks like it's probably going to be the end of his day, I'm afraid. But if James Poole has to end it today, then he's made a contribution, even if it's only in those 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. He's already made that contribution. His headband's come off. I do think his game's over there. He's shaking his head at the bench. Richie Allen looking ready to come on. Fired and doubled the leads. Back and away here though. Brough gets past his man, puts cross in. It's clear at the near post just for fall through to Phoenix. And throwing coming up for Salford on the far side. So I wonder if they'll just wait to make the substitution. Down to 10 men at the moment after Poole's gone off. Gloucester City 1, Worcester City 0 in the Severn Valley derby. Brough plays the ball back to Burton. Burton now looking to get the cross in, does too, to the far post. Basso comes to catch it, he drops it, but he reclaims it before Mike Phoenix can latch onto it. He's very alert midweek to score the opening goal against Nuneaton. It's a ball down the line from George Thompson, but run too early from Jason Gilchrist is flagged offside, and free kick coming up for Salford. Lynch now with the ball back in his possession, plays the ball upfield. Hume nods the ball down, looking for Phoenix to get onto the end of it, but goes through to Basso, rolls it back out to Tong. Tong playing the ball up to Wolfenden. So one of FC's long-serving players as well. So I think him and Jerome Wright both made a lot of appearances for the club. They know what it's about, and I suppose you've got two players to sum up FC and their desire. They've been involved in plenty of comebacks. They're the ones who you'd look to.
Yeah, exactly. As you say, they know all about FC, and they've been here for many years through the promotions. And but now it's time for Rich Allen to come on. It took a while to get ready there, Rich Allen. Wasn't expecting to come on. I don't think the joint manager would be too happy with the time it's taken, but no harm done, and Salford back up to 11 men now.
Funnily enough, they'd never seen two rushed. We had the throne up there and they weren't ready to bring him on. It looked like Rich Allen wasn't ready to come on. He was only just come onto the pitch now. I suppose if it was at the other end, it would be another thing, but when we've got it in our possession, in our control, then you can afford to. But control will definitely be something that Salford are looking to have more of this game. We were saying before the match last weekend at FC Halifax, they didn't really have control of the game. I think Rich Allen's hand changed undershirt here. It's not quite the right colour. The linesman's let him come on. Just see what's going on. Yeah, control, it's a very important thing at this level, isn't it, as well?
It is indeed. I was just distracted, because I couldn't believe how petty the referee is there. He had a sky blue undershirt on, and that wasn't allowed alongside the...
It doesn't clash with anyone, does it?
It's pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic, but the referee will be happy with himself. He's back on now anyway.
Just interesting to know the referee's picked up on that. FC Havertz back underway. George Thompson in the box has got space to turn here. Runs into Patrick Brough, and Salford can break. Rich Allen's first touch on the ball. He's got a lot of space to work with. Phoenix going out to the right hand side, but he plays it to left to George Green. Green just needs to cross the ball over. He does so. Takes deflection. Phoenix going to challenge for it. Heads it to Nottingham. It's a foul against Phoenix. That was a very soft one. He was just waiting for the ball to come before making his challenge. Did so, and it's foul against him, and FC have it underway. So another soft one from the referee there. He's, like you said, I think petty's words. Thompson latches onto the clearance, so he cuts inside of Priestley. George Thompson chips the ball into the box. It's headed clear by Patrick Brough. Barnes does the dirty work to get it clear. Further still, Phoenix tries to keep it in. So Salford just got to be careful that ball down the channel. Jerome Wright's got a lot of pace, and that's second or third time he's got onto one of those.
Yeah, it is, that's been their main outlet, isn't it, in since the opening minutes anyway, Will, but as you say, you've got to be careful of that one. And as you talk about the Phoenix challenge before, I think it's the kind, if it was the other way around and the defender had done that to Phoenix in the box, it would have been waved away, but the defender always kind of gets the benefit in that situation.
FC have it back at the other end with Basso. It's Harrogate Town 1, Gainsborough Trinity 0. Elsewhere, we'll try and get you up to date as many other scores as we see. So Salford win possession back in the middle. Barnes plays the ball over the top, looking for the run of Phoenix. It's headed back to Basso by Chandler. Basso's going to get FC going again from the back. Rolls it out to Fagbola. Fagbola rolling it into Tom Brown. Brown back to Fagbola, and FC just starting to play the possession, play the little easy balls with each other and try and dominate the possession. And the ball's out to the right hand side to Dale Tong. Tong's got a Green marking him. Green leaves the boot in there well, wins it back and knocks it into the path of Patrick Brough. Brough bringing it forward now up against Harry Winter. Gets past him, plays the ball into Hume. Hume now into Allen. A lot of space again in the middle for Allen. He's finds in these holes, plays it through for Phoenix. Phoenix on the left hand side of the goal, back onto his right foot. Shot blocked by Fagbola. Comes back out to Brough. Brough think about the shot, top of the box, rolls it. Phoenix hits it towards goal. It's a relatively tame effort into Basso's arms, who makes the save again, but Salford not relenting here, and very happy indeed to just keep hitting FC on the break, pinch it off them and go back forward.
Yeah, Phoenix were a bit disappointed with that. They didn't actually manage to test the goalkeeper a bit more, sort of straight at him. And but it was the first signs of unhappiness from the FC faithful, wasn't it? After that Salford attack. So even they're not particularly happy, and we know how supportive they are as fans.
Definitely. Just under 25 minutes gone here at Broadhurst Park. FC United and Manchester 0, Salford City 1. The same scoreline as it was back at Moor Lane. I think Phil, now we're starting to see the game open up a lot more.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit scrappy since James Poole's gone off. I mean, he has that little bit of class where he has time on the ball, and nobody at Salford's side has actually taken up that mantle at the moment. But they're still in control as we're going along. I've known Jordan Fagbola at the centre half of FC since he was a little kid, and he's always been too nice to be a good centre half. He's a decent centre half, but he's too nice. And Phoenix should be bullying him.
Might go and pass that down at half-time, let him know. Phoenix just shrugging off Fagbola there, who takes a touch back. He's got Nottingham on the overlap, he wants to use him. He puts it too late. I think Nottingham wanted that one a little bit earlier. He stopped his run, hesitated. Just then Phoenix made the ball through, and unlucky, but he does a good job, doesn't he, Michael Nottingham, getting forwards, getting on the overlap. You see it time and time again, and you can see why he's getting interest from higher levels.
He does. He's almost a winger at times, isn't he, the way he gets forward, and as you say, interest from higher levels. He had interest from higher levels in the summer, didn't he, Will? And he chose Salford, and he seems pretty happy here. And Salford, of course, are not in a rush to see him go, so I think he wants to progress with Salford, and he's the kind of player that can move up the leagues with them.
Harrogate 1, Gainsborough 1, back there. Gainsborough with a quick equaliser. FC still looking for theirs here. It's George Green on the left-hand side. I've been impressed with him in the opening 26 minutes. Obviously gone straight to the starting lineup. Could have been a little bit intimidating for him, but he's not seen phase yet, and he looks like a player, to be honest. He's desperate to go out there and prove what he can do. So Hume gets on the ball. He's got Green just outside of him, but he plays it back to Barnes instead. Barnes with the ball over the top, is intercepted by Dale Tong. And Tong now looking to bring it clear for FC United. He's surrounded by blue shirts, but he's works a bit of an opening, plays it back to Sam Baird. And Baird's across to Fagbola, just then to playing it between each other. Fagbola looking up, thinking what to do, plays ball into middle into Tom Brown, Harry Winter. I think himself, he's just served a suspension. Ball over the top, it's brought down by Wolfenden, but Patrick Brough gets boosted there, sees Alfred thrown to FC United on the far side, and well dealt with by Salford in the end there. It's FC just being patient, trying to do the build-up and play that ball over the top.
Yeah, it's those balls in behind the fullbacks. That's obviously a tactic that they've worked on, isn't it? So we've seen it down both sides now, and they're not getting much change through the middle. They can't really play through Burton and Barnes. They're closing all the gaps, so they're going in behind the fullbacks, and it's working reasonably well for them.
Chandler slugs the ball through to Wolfenden, tries to roll into the area. Grand intercepts and gets it clear again into Jordan Hume, who was having a bit of a hugging contest there with Sam Baird. Plays back to Scott Burton through to Alan. Nottingham a lot of space on this right hand side, picked out by the substitute. Nottingham driving against Chris Chandler now, tries to go outside of him. Chandler gets a boost in. Rich Allen picks up in the middle though. He's tackled by Tom Brown. Chandler's dispossessed by Nottingham. Nottingham to Hume to Phoenix to Nottingham. It's stifled out by FC United, just crowding bodies there. They had to do that, clear the ball out to the right hand side. Wolfenden's got the run on Brough here. Matty Wolfenden up against Patrick Brough, waiting for support, trying to make his way into the area. Still going Wolfenden, still going. Patrick Brough puts the challenge in. He took too long there, Wolfenden did.
Gilchrist made a great one in front across the front post. Wolfenden should have played it. When he made the run across, he delayed it in the end. Brough managed to get the tackle in, but again, it was that ball down the right hand side.
Just waiting for the throw to come in. It was fantastic cross ball as well from FC. Just a shame that Wolfenden couldn't do more. Thought he might have tried to cut in and take it on himself. Thompson got to the ball down the middle, intercepted by Barnes. Barnes out to Burton. And Brough gets it further upfield for Salford. Sam Baird dealing with Jordan Hume, headed back forward by Barnes, but it's Hume's going to have his work cut out getting back to this one. FC have possession back just under half an hour gone here at Broadhurst. Still 1-0 to the visitors. Ball's chipped up over the top again by FC, brought down well by Simon Grant, who looks a bit more composed than he did against Halifax last week. He looks a little bit flustered. George Green again showing good skill to shimmy past his man. He's got space to run into. He looks like he's just moving at slow-mo here. He's tackled by Harry Winter, but Patrick, no, Scott Burton's got inside of that one. So foul by Winter, free kick for Salford, maybe 45-50 yards from goal, so want to try and tap in to the area and create something. Foul now 3-0 up against Altrincham, and that one's in danger of becoming a rugby score, you feel?
Oh, it's poor. You got to feel for any Alti fans at that one, haven't you, really? You got to feel for any Alti fans with the way the season's gone full stop, really, but a bit of a late challenge there from Winter, and I don't think he got a booking there. I think he's quite lucky to get away with that one.
We've been making a joke on it in the last few weeks about Alti's Twitter. They seem to be becoming the kings of the league, really giving us something to smile about. But I wonder what they'll make of that one. I think Salford are trying to organise what they're doing. George Green taking the free kick here. Well, I'm not sure what he's trying to do there. Looks like he's trying to float it in, put a lot of power onto it, and it's just there behind for goal kick. Rather wasted position there. It's Gold's opportunity to have the free kick, and he's popped it into nowhere.
Yeah, I think if you're going to score from there, it's got to be something extremely special, and that was definitely not extremely special, was it?
Let's put it down to cross from a shot.
No, it was definitely a shot, but even though it was close to the corner flag in the end, but he's obviously got confidence, the lad, hasn't he? And he's obviously got a range where he thinks he's done that in training. He must have scored from there in the past, or at least in training, and we'll have to watch out from him from free kicks in the coming games.
Richie Allen pushed off the ball by Tom Brown. Messi again trying to build from the back. Harry Winter in centre circle, runs into George Green, and Barnes tries to thread a lovely ball through for Hume. It's intercepted by Chandler, and Chandler plays it into Winter, driving forward now into the FC United half. Plays it into defeated Thompson. FC's top scorer out to the captain Jerome Wright. Right on the left hand side, gets cross in. Jay Lynch punches it clear. Gilchrist is coming in for that one. Phoenix in no hurry to chase it down, and Wright gets to it first. Wright again tries to ding the cross in, bounces off Billy Priestley, but he reacts quickly to it and gets it clear out for a throw before it can go for corner. And throw into FC just in front of your way dugout, where Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley they've got to be quite pleased with what they've seen so far, but just that last 30 seconds or so, FC picks a couple of holes there that they maybe shouldn't have done. Winter plays it back into Sam Baird. Young centre back plays it across to Tong. Tong up into the feet of Wolfenden, who turns past his man well, Paddy Brough. Wolfenden's got to run down the wing here, he's got the overlap coming in. Cross comes in, Thompson sliding in, so has Billy Priestley. Priestley got his foot to it, and it's a good challenge in the end from the centre back. So Hume plays it into feet of Green. Phoenix made the run ahead of him, good foot in from Jordan Pagbola there to stop Phoenix getting through. And FC have possession back in their own half. Baird's under pressure from Phoenix at the moment. He's unsure what to do. Hume trying to cut off his channel back to the keeper, but he does go back to Basso, and Basso plays it up in the air, and Scott Burton underneath that one can only head it out for a throw-in, but it's a vital challenge that from Fagbola.
Yeah, it was. Talking about vital challenges, the one that came in from Billy Priestley a minute ago at the other end, that was absolutely fantastic. Without that challenge, that's 1-1. It was a really brilliant challenge from Priestley at that front post. That was as good as a goal.
Another throw for FC United, a little bit further up the pitch. Salford heads it back out, just trying to work the way up. George Thompson gets on it, turns past his man Thompson with a run of goal here, plays it through for Gilchrist, goes behind Gilchrist, and it's up for a goal kick. So FC adamant that should have been the corner. If anything, that bounced off the back of Gilchrist's heels. But you can see where it is again, it's that slip through that FC are looking to get onto. Salford will be keen not to, well, like you said before, to try and plug those gaps. I think Grant and Priestley recently built up a good partnership, which is why they keep in Steve House out of the team at the moment. But just there, Thompson in his sort of form. He's got 9 league goals, 14 goals in total for FC this season. He's the go-to man. A little bit of ping-pong ball. Jordan Hume brings it under control and stabs it back to Nottingham. Nottingham down the line for Phoenix to chase. Not going to get there before it goes out for a goal kick front to the SMRE. There's still a bit of noise, but they just quieted down a little as we're just over the half-hour mark here.
Yeah, but they have, and that's all credit to Salford's performance. I think the only thing Salford have got to be wary of is the two wingers, Wright and Wolfen, and they've had a bit of change out of the fullbacks. Centrally wise, Salford have been brilliant. They've been really sure, and we talked about off there before, didn't we, Will, about the danger man being Thompson, and he's been shackled really, really well so far.
Yeah, he's got a few nice turns in, and just like we saw a minute ago, he took out, I think, both Barnes and Burton in one swoop. Obviously, he then got the back line to beat. Jerome Wright can't beat Michael Nottingham there, though, and it falls kindly for George Green. He runs into Tom Brown, and Brown gets it to Wright. Green rather rugby tackles Wright to the ground there, and it's a free kick for FC United. About level with the bottom of the centre circle, just to the left-hand side of the goal, and Jerome Wright will look to drop this one in. Plenty of room for Jay Lynch to come and claim this one. But as far as keepers go, though, he's going to make this point earlier. Look at Adriano Basso. He's not exactly that tall. People say about Jay Lynch not being the tallest. Basso's not one for that. Wright puts the ball in. Brough heads it clear, and Harry Winter lets it bounce. Goes out for a throw in on the far side. He could have kept that one in and tried to keep the pressure up, but actually slowing the game down there where you wouldn't expect them to. I think Marjorie would be hoping for them to keep the pressure up quickly, and just like they always have done. I remember coming down to watch them, and they're always like very lively and on it, and I think just a bit of a change of mentality there. As cross comes in, it's flicked on by Fagbola, cleared by Billy Priestley. Green squares it into Phoenix, takes touch out to the left hand side, but it's a good strength from Sam Baird there, told off Phoenix, and a really good sliding challenge in from the young defender. I suppose that's why Margin's given him this voucher confidence recently. He has.
It's always been an issue, FC United, in the centre of defence. It's never been their strongest position the last few seasons, and but this young lad looks a good prospect. And typical Mike Phoenix there, though, chasing down a ball that most strikers probably would have let go out for probably a throw into FC United. Instead, it's a throw into Salford.
And given away to Chris Chandler. Nottingham plays it back forward again. Chandler again with the interception, comes off Chandler. Nottingham keeps it in play, gets it to Hume. Hume through the legs, Fagbola. Nottingham takes over, tries to get the cross in, comes off Tom Brown. Hands out for a goal kick to FC United and Manchester. It took another nick off Nottingham on its way back through. And FC rather let off there. Chris Chandler, though, he's another one who's been linked with the move away. He's some very impressive performances. Obviously, he's got a good pedigree coming from Man City in his younger days, and FC will be keen to keep hold of him.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because both left backs, I should imagine, know each other because they're both ex-Carlisle, aren't they? Chandler and Brough. So I don't know whether they spent time together there, but two ex-Football League. Well, I suppose Brough still is a Football League fullback because he's still on the books of Carlisle, but two Football League fullbacks that have played for Carlisle there. So I was actually quite surprised when he signed for FC United. I thought that was quite acute for them, and as you say, he's been doing very well for them. That doesn't surprise me at all.
I remember against County when I came to watch early season, he was another level. I mean, he really took the game to County. I think that was one of the reasons why FC won 2-0 in that game. Won their only home wins here in the league this season, just 1-3. But I suppose like Nottingham on the right hand side, he's not afraid to get forward. He's in a lot of space here. Nottingham's committed in field, and you can see why it's a good outlet.
He is, but he'll have to be careful getting forward, only down that left-hand side, because you've currently got Phoenix and you're going to have Nottingham who's going to overlap at every opportunity. So that could be something that Salford could exploit on the counter-attack as we go into the second half.
It was poor from Jason Gilchrist on the right-hand side. He had quite a bit of space, tried to put the first-time cross into the box, and well, I think the only worst slice I've seen was Darren Bent last night when he sliced it into his own net off the goal line. To put it one way, so a goal kick for Salford. Jay Lynch plays ball out to right hand side. Nottingham wins the header but plays it into the middle. It's headed back forward by Matthew Wolfenden. Simon Grant's going to get there though. Puts the ball up in the air, gets a good boot through it as a good centre back does. Brought down by Harry Winter though. Wants to play it back to Fagbola, who knocks out to Chandler. Chandler tries to get it clear, comes off George Green. It's out for a throw in to FC United Manchester. Wright takes it quickly, looking for Thompson. Takes touch, try and get past Priestley. Falls nicely for Jason Gilchrist down in the corner. Gilchrist back to Wright, making his way into the box now. Wright looking to get a cross in, goes short to Chandler, plays 1-2. Wright's in behind here, gets crossover right through the middle. Thompson unable to get on the end of it, and Salford again getting away with the ball through. Patrick Brough trying to chase it out, but it's picked up by Dale Tong. Tong coming forward now, plays it out to right hand side, plays it too short. Salford have it back with Scott Burton bringing it clear. Down the line for Phoenix, rolls out to play. And, a massive less off at the wrong end to pitch there for Salford as that ball went across.
Yeah, just behind him, wasn't it? And he just couldn't get on the end of it. But again, it's down the wings that all the problems are coming from. And I just saw Bernard having a word there with George Green, who's just gone onto the right-hand side. I think he was just saying you need to make sure you're tracking Chandler and you're doing your defensive job as well.
Brough heads the ball back into FC's possession from the throw-in. It's brought down by Tom Brown. Brown looking to play it through. Comes off Scott Burton out from another throw-in. And FC, just the last 5-10 minutes or so, they've come back into this, tried to get the dominance back into this game. That attacking threat that Salford was showing so vividly has diminished a little bit. We have phases in a game. Brown tries to play the ball out to the right-hand side. Scott Burton again gets it clear, but it falls for Tong. Tong goes to Welly, the cross in, blocked by Phoenix, out for another throw to FC United and Manchester. 5 minutes ago in this first half, it's still FC United 0, Salford City 1. James Poole giving Salford the lead, but he's gone off injured now. Another cross comes into the box and Phoenix gets it clear, headed up in the air by Sam Baird up against Jordan Hulme, who brings it down, turns past his man well. Rich Allen's making the run down the middle, it's past Fagbola. Rich Allen gets onto the end of this, good foot in by Fagbola to get that clear. It rolls away just in front of George Green. Wright picks up and plays the ball through. Priestley's going to get onto this one, plays it back to Jay Lynch, and danger cleared for FC. It was nearly a perfect ball through from Jordan Hulme, but it's great defended by Fagbola there.
Yeah, I think he got a bit lucky as well, because I think Fagbola got touched and then it came off Allen off the back of his heel, so he got a bit lucky, but they got away with that one.
Brough looking to intercept the cross on the left hand side. It's a good one to the far post. No one there for Salford. Everyone queuing up in the middle where Phoenix had made the run. Jordan Hulme at the near post, and it's picked up by Chandler on the far side. He skews his clearance there, and it's out for a throw in Salford on this near side. Carl Martinson just standing down in front of him. He's in a suit today, which he doesn't often do. I don't know if it's been told off by the league for their managerial regulations. He's saying it's the programme notes, it's just another game, it's not a derby or a big game, and then turns up in shirt, tie and shoes.
He's off to a wedding reception straight after, I don't know. But it's definitely not just another game, is it?
Definitely not, and there's still a long way to go in this one. Gilchrist plays ball out to right hand side. Tong picks up, he's trying forward for FC United and Manchester now. He's out to right hand side to Wolfenden up against Brough. A couple of step overs down in that corner. Wolfenden trying to get past Brough. He gets cross in, but there's not much power on it. Simon Graham picks up quite comfortably before getting it clear out into Hulme, who's again got the turn on Sam Baird. Foul by Sam Baird. It's a free kick for Salford just inside the FC United half on the left hand side. A couple of minutes going into this first half till half time. But although they've got the leads, and a lot of work for Salford to do, like we were saying before, about that control, and even with Scott and Brad in the middle of the pitch, it's maybe not been as comfortable as I'd have hoped or expected. Never is going to be comfortable here at Broadhurst, but I think given the dominance Salford have already had in this game, it'd be disappointing not to still have it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Salford have been the better side, there's no doubt about that for me, and they've had a few chances to extend the lead, but they look dangerous as well, the rest of United.
Bruce ball in, it's cleared at the top of the box by Harry Winter, out for the throw on this side to Salford. Nottingham coming over for it. He's got a long throw on him if he wants to use it. He's got Jordan Hulme down the line, George Green short, he picks out Green. Green tries to play it back to him first time, but it's weakened into Tom Brown. Right boots it clear, but it's brought down in the middle by Brad Barnes. Barnes out to Brough, and Brough angles the ball into the middle, flicked on by Rich Allen. Jordan Hulme challenging Fagbola for it. It's brought down by George Green instead in the middle. Back heel to get past his man, turns quickly. George Green does. Nottingham on the overlap, he slides it into him, too close to right. Right tries to play it back in, deflection off Michael Nottingham, kept in by Chandler and cleared, but Scott Burton picks it up. Burton into George Green, dally too long, pushed down by Jerome Wright, and free kick for Salford just in from this near touchline. Now George Green's gone down on his haunches after Wright caught him. A little bit of a juicy challenge from the SC captain there.
Yeah, you're never going to get away with coming through the back of someone like that, are you? Even if you do get some of the ball while you do it. And you know, he had his back to play there. It was just a needless free kick given away, and now they're under pressure. And we know how good Salford can be from set pieces.
That juicy enough for you in the first half, Phil?
I think if you're Anthony and Bernard, you're a bit disappointed, I think, that you've not stepped it up, because since James Poole's gone off, that little bit of quality's gone. Richie's not got into the game yet. And I think for me the most disappointing thing is the two crosses from Paddy Brough. he's gone for the far post. He's not looked up. He's just played percentages, and there's not been anybody there. And for me, that's why he needs to come and play at this level to learn more about his game. Other than that, he's been brilliant. But when you're playing the overlapping fullback, you've got to look up before you deliver that ball.
Agree with this delivery from the near side. It's a good one to the far post, headed by Billy Priestley over the crossbar though, and into the SMRE behind that goal. A few ironic jeers and stuff coming from the home fans over there. It's Tamworth 1, Boston 0. I know it was Brackley dropped points in midweek with the draw, but Tamworth and other sides where Salford will be hoping can drop points as they try and consolidate that playoff place going into the last few months of the season. It's coming up very quickly, isn't it? That April end of season.
It's going to be a brawl, isn't it, between all those teams at the top? I mean, can you imagine how many results you have to look out for every week as a Salford fan or as a fan of any one of those teams up there? And it's none of them are dropping off whatsoever, are they? And I don't think they are either. It's going to be an absolute brawl.
Rough plays the ball in, support down by Billy Priestley. Nottingham keeps it alive. Hume trying to peel clear at the back post, cleared by FC United. For a throw on the far side, and of course Stockport are part of that. Salford and Stockport, the two informed teams in the league at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's Stockport on a tough run, of course. They've got Brackley next. They're playing Halifax at the moment, and so it's. But all these teams are playing each other, and people drop points. And today, one of Stockport and Halifax, or maybe both, are going to drop some points. And the teams are going to look to take advantage.
Salford playing the ball through the middle here. Scott Burton's got clear of his man, threads it through for Paddy Brough on the left side. Didn't quite go there. He played 45 minutes. Just waiting to see how much out of time there's going to be. Imagine there might be a couple because of James Poole's injury. No ball gone up yet. Goal for Altrincham at AFC Files. 3-1 there. I think it's still nil at the show. I've not seen any updates from there. Just still waiting for the ball to go up. I think by the time this comes in, we'd have probably played a good minute of whatever added time. 3 minutes, so probably got another couple to go here. FC United have got a thrown in the right back position, comes in from Dale Tong, picked up by Wolfenden, plays ball first time over the top. Simon Grant seeing that one out to play and out to the stand on that far side, doing what all good centre backs do. And I think maybe that was missing last weekend from Salford. There was too much faffing around. Like sometimes it's just get your boot through and get it clear. So it's good to see that they've been a little bit more ruthless. Throw in comes in from FC, so with Dale Tong on the halfway line, bringing it across and plays it back to Adriano Basso. So taking his time for clearing this one, the FC United keeper sending his teammates upfield. Plays this one up to the right hand side, won by Simon Grand ahead of George Thompson. Jordan Hume keeps it in, flicks it for Mike Phoenix, holds off Fag Bowler, gets back to Hume, but it bounces off Hume and it's picked up by Tong. Tong now looking to move FC United into maybe one last attack. This R plays ball through. Jason Gilchrist got the right side of Billy Priestley here. He's still going with it. Priestley's marshalling him out of the box into the right hand channel. Gilchrist still going, tries to turn past him. Priestley standing strong though, and it bounces out for a throw into FC United. Like we say, Naughty's Twitter keeping us entertained. OMG is their response to scoring a goal.
Hoping there's no OMG moments from the Salford defence in these last couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Phoenix breaking forward now down the right hand side. It's a strong run. It's got past Thompson. Thompson brings him down. It's a free kick for Salford. I think Thompson's going to get a booking for his efforts there. It's a rather cynical one, but he had to make it. Otherwise, Phoenix was one-on-one with the last defender.
Yeah, Salford breaking, and we know how dangerous they can be from the break. They've shown that on a few occasions in this first half, and took one for the team there, and it looks like he's going to pick up a yellow card for his troubles. And he does indeed. He's got a yellow card for that one.
So just debate. Well, I got in trouble for it on Twitter last weekend. I think it was Alan Shearer saying about Kyle Walker should have been sent off, and I thought because of the double jeopardy rule that you couldn't have it. But apparently you can get a red card if it's pushing or pulling. I suppose that's the same one, isn't it? You can't push a ball, but you can slide from behind, take the man, and not get sent off if it's in the box.
You can also get a red card for a trip as well. If you're not going for the ball, then it's still a red card. But no red cards here so far as the half-time whistle goes.
Yeah, half-time, FC United and Manchester 0, Salford City 1. James Poole with the goal after. So it's 13 minutes, 14 minutes. It was a lovely move. George Green involved on his debut, getting the assist, slipping it through to Poole. Nice work to get onto the right hand side, and he played that one into the far post to give Salford the lead. FC not really too much response. I've not tested Jay Lynch too much apart from immediately afterwards when Gilchrist played a powerful shot into the Salford keeper. But as it stands 1-0, we'll be back in about 10 minutes with live coverage of this second half here at Broadhurst Park. But set up quite nicely, it should be a tasty one. So go and get yourselves a brew, get comfy or carry on shopping, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you soon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Broadhurst Park for the second half of FC United in Manchester versus Salford City. The Yammies with a 1-0 lead at half-time, and as you could probably expect in a fixture of Salford versus Manchester, it's just started drizzling. It's nice and rainy. Very typical, Joe.
Yeah, perfect weather for the non-league Manchester derby, isn't it, really? And it's got a lot colder in this last hour as well. So, yeah, but the players will be expecting that, and the ball will dip off the surface, I'm sure, and it's going to be a very interesting second half. And in terms of Salford's point of view, they'll be hoping just to see this one out and catch FC on the counter.
It's a needlessly played out play by Chris Chandler on the far side. Salford City with a throw-in the right back position. Michael Nottingham with it. Go through the teams. Jay Lynch in goal. Michael Nottingham, Patrick Burrough, Simon Grant the captain, and Billy Priestley make up the usual back five. Midfield, Scott Burton returns, and partners Bradley Barnes in the middle. And then it's an attacking quadruple of Johnny Hume, Mike Phoenix, George Green making a start in his debut, and Richie Allen, who came on as a substitute in the first half for James Poole, who opened the scoring in this match. The only goal of the game so far. It's a free kick for FC United away to the left-hand side that goalkeeper Adriano Basso's taken. In front of him is Dale Tong, Chris Chandler, Jordan Fagbola and Sam Baird. And to them it's Tom Brown and Harry Winter, with Matt Wolfenden and Jerome Wright out wide, George Thompson and Jason Gilchrist through the middle. So far it's been a good value match.
Yeah, it has. There's been plenty of entertainment between the two sides, and FC United have not created much, but they have looked dangerous down the wings, especially down that right hand side of Wolfenden. So that's a threat that Salford will have to watch in the second half, and I'm sure maybe Jono and Byrne have made a few tactical adjustments there as Salford are on the attack.
Good ball through from Rich Allen. Phoenix on the right hand side goes to get the cross in, blocked by Fagbola. Johnny Hume trying to keep it in, just goes out of play for a goal kick to FC United in Manchester. In front of where the Salford fans are all gathered behind that goal. A good number of them have turned out. Looking forward to hearing what the attendance is. It looks very full here. I'm hoping that it's a good 3,500. It's certainly attracts a lot of people, especially some people who are on the fence. No United playing, no City playing, and like I was saying, it's been a good game so far. Michael Nottingham clears the ball at field. Phoenix batting with Fagbola. Fagbola wins the head and gets it down, turns into Phoenix, so he comes out with it. Phoenix moving to the left side of the area, plays it into Green. Green with the cross, comes off the back of Dale Tong. Rich Allen's kept in on the far side. No, he's not. He's gone out for a corner. A corner coming up for Salford, first of the second half. And the third of the game from the far side. George Green making his way over. The shower's now stopped. So it's drying out again a little bit here. I'm starting to get the feel of the night game here with the floodlights coming on. It's a very bright pitch. Green with the corner from the far side, comes in into the middle. Grant at the back post, rose for it. He beat Fagbola to it. It's up in the air. Priestley with a header off the line by Basso. Priestley got the second ball there. Allen squared out to the left side, thinking Scott Burton was there. Harry Winter keeps it in for FC, gives it away to Burton. Burton with the ball back over the top is given away to FC, who play it into the middle into Tom Brown. Pulls clear of Richie Allen, brings it out to his near side into Henry Winter. He's got Dale Tong ahead of him, but Winter angles a good ball where Matt Wolford has made the run, goes across. Jay Lynch comes out for it, he gets thrown himself at the feet of Gilchrist, and he's stayed down. Jay Lynch has, you got to be mad to be a goalkeeper, but you got to do your job, and Jay Lynch has done his job there.
You're trying to say about Jay Lynch there, Will? No, but I think every time I'm on a Salford game with you, Will, I mention Jay Lynch and bravery in the same sentence, and it was the same there. If he wasn't brave and didn't get that, then it's 1-1. But he did his job, he was favourite for it, he took the challenge, and he plays on.
Necessary as well. Gilchrist made a good run in to the box, so necessary from the Salford stopper. And Phil, you watch a lot of non-league football, would you say that he's one of the best? It's not just Salford fans picking the keeper up.
Oh, brilliant. I've always liked him. I think he's a great keeper. He's up there, probably in the top two of this division at least. I mean, I tell you who's impressed me is this year, the Fylde keeper. You know, stepping down a level. I know he's gone full-time now, so they've gone full-time. No. Who's the keeper at Fylde? Came down from full-time.
Check this one out.
He's actually a decent keeper, but I think the lad who was there last year, who's now at Stockport, always the best kicker in the division. But overall, I think Lynch is probably his all-round game. He's better than Hinchliffe's. He's a good keeper, and he's brave and daft, which also helps.
All keepers need to be. Yeah, rolls this ball out to Simon Grant. Obviously, he's been a very big part in front of Jay Lynch this season as well. Taking over from Chris Lynch, who's made his way back. He's not in the squad today though. Brad Barnes in the middle of the pitch, plays out to the right hand side to Michael Nottingham. Some big plays in that Salford defence, as I just said, two of them there. Hume tries to play it back into Nottingham. but it's good pedigree, and I suppose when you're going up through the divisions, they're the sort of players who you need to bring in, players with experience and quality.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned about the height that Salford have got as well, and they've definitely got a height advantage over FC United today. So they might need to use that and just physical and height advantage. As Salford now they're throwing into the box with Hume.
Hume tries to get past Fagbowler, who stood his ground, goes down claim for a penalty, not given by the referee. I think that would have been soft had it been given. Fagbowler was just standing his ground. Priestley plays the ball back out to Barnes. Barnes angles the ball over the top. Again, Hume batting with Jerome Wright to get on the end of that one. Again, claiming that it was impeded there, and it wasn't really so. But you know what John's like, he'll appeal for everything that he can. If you don't appeal, you don't get. So James Poole's just making his way out below, back onto the bench. It's a shame that his game ended so early, because like we said, with his departure, it's sort of been a bit of a departure of Salford's dominance and quality.
It's interesting that when Richie Allen came on, I presumed he'd go over to the left and there'd be a bit of a reshuffle, but he's played in that attacking midfield role, Richie Allen, and he's looked bright when he's got the ball, but you're right, he hasn't had the same influence as Poole.
See, looking bright here. Gilchrist works his way through three players, gets it to Thompson. Thompson, he's barged off the ball by George Green. Good defending, he turns his man as well. That's good. What Salford want to see from the new man. And he gets it into Scott Burton. Burton with the ball over the top. He was off balance. Picked up by Jordan Hume, though. Hume driving forward towards goal now. Plays in Phoenix from the left hand side. He's gone a second too early. Just fractionally too early there. And it's a free kick for FC United in Manchester. But George Green there, we're saying he's got to do the defensive work, and he did it there and converted that into what could have been a good attack for Salford.
He did. It was great skill. Literally, crossed to him, wasn't on the edge of his own area. Don't know how happy the two managers will be with that, but he got away with it that time and set Salford on the attack. And in the end, I think Salford were a bit disappointed that they didn't break the offside trap there.
It's one of those players you see he's very aware of what's around him, so I think that's why he had the confidence to do it. FC giving it away. Richie Allen gets into Hume, charges down the right hand side now, up against Fagbowler again, cuts inside of him, but again Chris Shatner's there covering his centre back and gets the clearance. Brad Barnes picks it up though. He's pushed off the ball by Matt Wolfenden, and now FC throwing numbers forward. Wolfenden's got space to run to. Billy Priestley's come out of position, squares it across to Harry Winter. Winter lets it go. Gilchrist picks up on the right hand side now for FC. It's being marked by Patrick Brough, gets across in, Brough with the block, and it's out to play for a corner. The first to FC United in front of the SMRE, who go up in good voice. Chance to try and impose themselves on Salford's backline, try and test them a little bit. Salford's got to concentrate here. Fagbowler's making his way up, as is Sam Baird. They're looking to get on the end of this one. Cross coming in from George Thompson. It's been the goal scorer, trying to be provider. Straight into Lynch's arms. Lynch has dropped it. It's a free kick for Salford. I think that's Tom Brown, is it? Just in front of Lynch, making nuisance of himself.
Yeah, the fans weren't happy with it, but that was a free kick all day long. He just headed it out of his hands, didn't he? And in the end, it wasn't the best of corners. And I said before, Salford should be confident defending and attacking corners because they've definitely got the height advantage.
I'd like to argue that. I thought he put it into a really good place.
Well, agree to disagree.
All right, fair enough then. He's into the near post. Rich Allen heads ball forward for Phoenix. Basso's come for it. He's taken Phoenix out. After Phoenix had knocked it round him, referee says no penalty. It's very similar to Harrogate's second goal here last weekend. Basso's still in pain, but I can't believe he's not given that. FC breaking up the other end. George Thompson on the left hand side. He's held up by Priestley. Gets past him though. Cross comes into the middle. Coming in. Jay Lynch gets his hand there before Wolfenden can get in at the far post. Harry Winter picks the rebound up on this far side. George Green, gets in there. Scott Burton picks up the scrap, so he plays it back to Paddy Brough. Brough gets it clear upfield. Phoenix now backing into his man. Hume picks up the ball. Hume breaking forward now. The game's really opened up here at Broadhurst Park. Hume on the left hand side, cuts inside of Baird. Still going right foot to shot, comes off. Dale Tonga after the corner to Salford. Just go past that one. Should that have been a penalty?
For me, when I saw it, I thought it was a penalty. Basso tried to claim that he was fouled by Phoenix, but you could tell he was scared he'd given away one. The only thing I will say is Phoenix didn't appeal too much from it, but for me it looked like a penalty on first viewing.
And Phil, your thoughts quickly?
Not a penalty for me. Not a penalty. They've just both committed to the ball. They've just both kicked each other. Basso's showing the stud marks on his legs to the ref. It'd have been harsh. If it was for you, you'd want the penalty. If it was against, you'd be screaming it was injustice. One of them.
Cross comes in from George Green from the corner. It's now swinging, headed by Nottingham, and it's over the line. Forward again by Basso, but Nottingham rising in the near post. Fantastic header again from the big man. Scored from a header from a corner midweek. He's done it again here. and he's just an absolute machine. Salford City leading 2-0 here at FC United in Manchester.
I said a couple of minutes ago, the advantage from corners should be with Salford. They've got the height advantage. They made it pay there. That was a good corner into the box, Will Moorcroft, and nothing there to head it home. Basso, you thought he'd made a brilliant save, but he just couldn't quite keep it out, and it rolled into the back of the net. And now you've got to feel that Salford can just go on and on.
And another error from the FC keeper. I was going to say before that corner with that challenge against Phoenix. That's exactly what he did last weekend against Harrogate. And again, he's fun with it. He's doesn't look too confident with the ball in his hands here.
And he's still rubbing his thigh. Keepers are always looking for a reason to let it in, aren't they? To be fair, that Knox has got Bradley Barnes out of jail there, because that chance for FC has come from Barnes just acting stupid with the ball, and he's not even got up and chased back. Luckily, Jay's made a great save, gone up the other end and got the reward. So I've no doubt whatsoever those two down there will be reminding Bradley Barnes of that waste of the ball over there.
I think they were after that goal as well. Jerome Wright tries to get the cross and he's taken out by Scott Burton. Them two just still going at each other down in that corner, but a corner for FC United again. They've got a chance to try and pull a goal back straight after Salford scored. They were unsuccessful last time. We're hoping for a little bit more success from this corner. So put down by Thompson. Again, FC trying to crowd the area very sparsely in there. Good cross in, lot of curl on it. Michael Nottingham heads it clear for Salford. Barnes getting on the end of that one. He's taken out by Chris Shanley, who puts a good challenge in. He goes up with their own Salford in the left back position. George Green is bringing up. He's bringing a little bit too far up, but it's good defending there.
Yeah, it was indeed. And Phil just saying about Basso holding his leg. I think that's what you get when you get a Brazilian in goal rather than someone like Jay Lynch.
Well, Michael Nottingham, we said about him in the first half, he's really showing his worth. Either he's trying to impress someone or he is just naturally that good.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a right back that's as good as that in the air, as dangerous from corners as you do you? Anyway, you don't see that. So that's another strength of Nottingham's bow that just makes him such a great player, and you can see why clubs are looking at him.
Some vital footing there from Simon Grant. FC tried to slip another ball through. They're still coming forwards. Chris Chandler on the left hand side gets across in Nottingham, making the block there. It's out for another corner to FC. Salford out the first two quite well, but another third. They don't want too many corners to keep defending. But yeah, definitely 6'4", he's a very natural threat from set pieces. But what is it? I think that's 6th or 7th goal is unreal. Short this time from Thompson back to Winter. Winter with the shot comes in, comes off by Bowler, cleared by Johnny Hume. It's a very strong shot, a very powerful cross, whatever it was. And FC have it back with Basso, looks to have shaken off. Whatever happened in that collision with Phoenix. Chips the ball back out to the left hand side. It's played forward over the top. Nottingham heading it clear into Richie Allen. Allen now cuts inside to Bradley Barnes, his former foul teammate, and Barnes spreads the place. Phoenix, a lot of space in the set on side for Phoenix. Into the area now, right foot, weak shot. Really poor from Mike Phoenix there. He expected better, but getting in a lot of space there.
Yeah, he did excellently to pull into that left-hand channel and find, as you say, acres of space, but he just straight at the keeper, and a very similar effort he had in the first half as well. He's had a good game, Mike Phoenix, but he'll be disappointed with his finishing so far today, I think.
So offside against FC United on the left-hand side. Picked up by Jay Lynch, ready to take the free kick. And, well, it's a very important goal going back to it still. I mean, Salford gives them that 2-goal cushion. Obviously, nothing's set and decided, but FC have got the work cut out.
Yeah, indeed. And you mentioned Nottingham, we're saying he's had 6 or 7 already this season. And I've seen other games where he's had really good headed efforts and just missed wide. He could have been easy in double figures, which is ridiculous for a right back, really, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, definitely. It's goal for Curzon Ashton, 2-0 up at Darlington. That's a big result there. That's especially if Salford can hang on here. You're saying about people taking points off people. You wouldn't have expected Curzon to be winning at Darlington, but they are. Darlington, however, are the comeback kings. Nottingham trying to get across in here. It's blocked well by Tom Brown, only after throwing to Salford on that right hand side. And, is Nottingham going to take this one long? It's urging Billy Priestley to stay back and stay away. Salford not committed too many men forward. So Nottingham with the ball in his arms. Matt Warburton with the goal for Darlington as well. Seen a very shrewd move from going back to Curzon Ashton after all.
Sent him back at the right time, didn't you? There, one against Fylde, one against Darlington.
Nottingham flicked on by Priestley into Hume. Priestley again. It's good footwork in the box. Left footed shot. It's blocked well by SC United and Manchester. They're on the break though now. George Thompson plays the ball through for Harry Winter. Richie Allen picks it up though and looks back towards own goal, rolls back for Patrick Brough. He's ordered his defender short there. Comes off Harry Winter out for a throw into Salford. Richie Allen going mad at Patrick Brough there. I don't think he had the right to. It's a poor ball back from Richie.
I definitely agree with you there, but at the end of the day, Salford got a throw in, so that they will be happy enough as SC make some changes.
Kieran Glenn coming on for Matt Watford and after an hour, so he's got half an hour to try and impose himself. Kieran Glenn does. Salford waiting for this throw to come in. Very tall figure in the middle of the park there, Kieran Glenn. Just might try and add a more imposing figure in that midfield, try and take on Scott Burton, Brad Barnes a little bit more. Throw comes in from Brough, headed back by George Thompson, picked up by George Green. Given away by Fab Bowler only as far as Green, stabs it back forward. Rich Allen trying to get in the middle here. It's played back to the goalkeeper though by Sam Baird. Played forward by Basso. And it's first touch for Kieran Glenn. Heads up in the air, brought down by George Green. Scott Burton plays it back to Bradley Barnes. Barnes squaring it back to Michael Nottingham. Just go back to it again as well. George Green, that's the second assist. It's a lovely ball into the box. Very inviting for any player to get onto the end of.
Yeah, he's had a very, very bright debut so far, hasn't he? And it looks a very good signing for Salford. When I saw him in the start, when I saw he was signed, I thought he'd probably work his way into the squad, maybe be on the bench today. But the manager chucked him straight in there after probably only one or two training sessions. But he looks like he's played with this team for weeks.
Lynch's clearance forwards. It's Johnny Hume challenging for it with Sam Baird, trying to impose himself, but Baird does well to win it there. Showing a lot of strength and maturity for a 21-year-old, has to be said. Tom Brown brings out to his right-hand side to Dale Tong. Tong up into the feet of Thompson. Back to Tong, who didn't particularly want it back. He's been closed down by Brough at the moment. He's forcing him backwards, pushing him down those. Free kick to SC United in Manchester. Patrick Brough protesting his innocence there, but I don't think he's going to get away with that one, is he?
I think Tong is an experienced player, and I think the word there is cute. He felt slightly the push. He knew he was under pressure, so he went down. Just looking at other results coming in, and I think Gainsborough 2-1 up against Harrogate. So that could today, if that stays the way it is, that could be Harrogate out of the playoff picture, and at least get one of the many teams out of it at least.
Yeah, that will do both of us the word of good. Simon Grant heads it back forward. Goes back the other way from Tom Brown, picked up by Brad Barnes, leaves it for Michael Nottingham, who's dispossessed there, but it's falls kindly for Billy Priestley to make the clearance. Simon Grant doing the important thing, getting it back to Jay Lynch, who can get it clear for Salford. Just over an hour gone, Salford lead 2-0 here at Broadhurst Park. But obviously it's not all done and dusted, as they'll know from last week. Ball's played back out to the left hand side into the feet of Glynn. Glynn holding off Bradley Barnes at the moment, trying to turn past him. He's not got many options. FC not making many runs, and this time he is dispossessed by Barnes. He plays the ball down the line for Phoenix chase onto. He's got that head. Fag bowler waiting for support. Rich Allen arriving in the middle. Phoenix so goes to bylines, played across. Allen picks up on this far side. Hume couldn't quite get a shot off with his back to goal. Patrick Brough takes over, gets a good cross in. Fag bowler half gets it clear to the edge of the box, and it's done out by Tom Brown. Salford getting the balls into the box there, none on the ends. Barnes squaring it to Burton. Burton back out to Barnes. He's got George Green calling for it ahead of him. He goes instead to Michael Nottingham. Nottingham is it lets right coming from behind. I think he felt he was there, let him make the challenge out for a throw in on that far side, and I think now we are starting to see just that little bit more control in the game from Salford.
We are, and they don't have to rush anything now, do they? They've got the 2 goals, and they're quite happy to just be patient while they're looking for this third and keep possession. They're doing it well.
So Green again making a run, gets into Jordan Hume. Hume out to the right hand side to Michael Nottingham, gets across in, blocked by Jerome Wright, falls for Kieran Glynn. Kieran Glynn now bringing it forward for FC United in Manchester, out to the right hand side to Dale Tong, trying to advance from his right back position. He's been pegged back there, unlike Chris Chandler, who's been free to make runs up the left hand side, so he's been a lot deeper in the second half. It's a good challenge in from George Green though. Converts defence into a tap, plays it through for Phoenix. Phoenix holds off Baird, gets into the area onto it, tries to cut back. Baird's got his body there, and he gets out for throwing in again. That's good defending from the youngster. Phoenix is no easy man to mark, and he's done really well there.
Yeah, brilliant play by Green there, and you could tell how good it was because he was right in front of Vernon and Jono, and they gave him a huge round of applause as he did it, and he's turned into a potential man of the match candidate here, isn't he, on his debut?
Yeah, definitely. He gets crossing there, very low. He's angled straight into Adriano Basso. I'm not sure he meant to do that, but he's right idea, trying to get Salford moving forward quickly. So I see coming forward, Glynn in the middle on the halfway line, plays the ball out to the right hand side. Green gets his head to it, heads it back down to Brough. Really good again from the youngster there. He's, like I say, he's really impressive at the moment. It looks like he might pull something up here. He's walking back to the halfway line. Patrick Brough plays it forward for him. He looks to have given up there a little bit. I think he has got a problem. I don't know if he's shattered or if he's injured, but I'm sure that'll get the attention of Burnley and John, who's lost his man there. To Del Tong, that was. Plays the ball into Gilchrist. Gilchrist sliding, challenging from Simon Grant. He's got the ball there. Missed by Nottingham, right on the far side. Goes to shot. Across the face of goal. It's going to bobble out for a goal kick to Salford City. But just Green switching off there. He's let that move develop for FC. And luckily, it's not gone into the goal. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. It just all came from that, didn't it? George Green switched off, and then there was a lack of concentration from Michael Nottingham in the end. They got away with it. I don't know if the Green's got an injury or not. It looks like they might be preparing another substitution down there. I won't be surprised if it'd be Green to make way.
Phil, what have you made of Green's debut so far? As we're just saying, he's potential man of the match. It looks like he might be either tired or injured at the moment.
He's been everywhere, hasn't he? He's been at the centre of pretty much everything since the second half started. Had a good first half. I mean, Salford are completely in control here, really. I think they still need that third goal because it's getting a bit niggly. As one of the tackles I was expecting earlier in the game from the person I wouldn't have expected it from, to be truthful. But, you know, it's going to take tackles like this to get FC back in the game, I think. Salford have got to be careful, not get dragged into it. It's just a lazy channel from Jordan. That it's not a malicious tackle, but he's caught the lad, and he's going to get a booking for it. Going back to George, I think he's having a really, really good game. The one thing I've noticed just last 5 minutes or so, a little bit of niggle between Salford players, blaming each other when something hasn't gone quite right. You know, when you're 2-0 up, you just keep everything tight. Don't start getting on everybody's backs, because you get on people's backs when you're losing, not when you're winning. You know, you can encourage each other when you're winning. So they need to cut out that as well. Just get back to encouraging each other, get back to playing football, and they'll see this game through.
Yeah, I do think that's one of the things about Richie Allen. I don't like to player blame, but I just noticed he was there with Paddy Brough a minute ago. When it maybe wasn't even Brough's fault, is something that comes from him.
Yeah, but Richie, he's done the hard work. He's got back and covered brilliantly. And then he's played a really half-hearted pass to Paddy, which is neither put your foot through it or take it round the man. And Paddy's got a quick decision to make, and he's tried to make that little touch wide to give it the welly, and the lads put him under pressure and took the ball off him. But strange one is Salford got the free kick.
FC said there's a yellow card for Sam Baird as well for that one, so don't know. Cross comes in from Patrick Brough. I thought it was well headed by Grant into Priestley. Priestley with the shot, and it rolls just wide. Took a deflection on its way through there. It's a quick move from Salford as well. That won a corner out of it, and I think just that last 30 seconds taken us all by surprise. Just take a minute to take stock of what's going on. Corner for Salford on the far side, and be looking to try and make it 3 and try and just assert that dominance and make the last 20 minutes just that little bit easier for them. George Green standing over it, looking to get maybe a hat-trick of assists. Goes it into the far post, Graham with the header back across goal, straight across goal, not towards it. Green trying to pick it up, but it's held it cleared by FC, and it's brought clear now. Kieran Glynn, brought down from behind by Billy Priestley, keeps his feet though, he's still going, the substitute is towards goal, goes for the goal himself, drags it wide to the far post, and move comes to an end for FC. It's a quick break, and maybe not enough made of it, maybe signs of desperation there.
Yeah, I mean, he got a bit excited, didn't he, the youngster there, but he showed plenty of pace and willing with the actual run, and I've heard plenty of good things about Glynn, so it'd be interesting to see what he can do there, but the finish was way off, no composure there from Glynn on that occasion.
Did well stand his feet as well from Priestley, who had to be careful not to bring him down there. And
yeah, I mean, he like you say, under pressure, staying on his feet, he was obviously confident he could get a shot away, but in the end, it didn't trouble Jay Lynch. And now FC United making another change.
Sam Sheridan coming on, in place of Tom Brown. Memory serves me right, is it Sheridan who scored against Stockport the second just after coming on? Or was it Nathan Lowe? No, it was Lowe, wasn't it? It was, yeah, let's scratch that one.
Sheridan did play for Stockport though, so I've seen plenty of him. On his day, he can be a really good player, but he just doesn't have his day enough, so he could make a difference today.
Curzon Ashton 3, Darlington 0. Day's getting better for us. It's Matty Warburton again, straight back into the score sheet. It's free kick. Meanwhile, for FC United in Manchester, Salford praying another sub as well. So I get a little bit excited. Can't believe that. It's not a result you would have expected. So all the more important for Salford to hang on here. Chandler takes free kicks, headed away by Simon Grant, and George Green picks it up on the right hand side, just about gets it back to Brough. That's a good ball through for Richie Allen, lets it roll, didn't get the touch on it he wanted to. Johnny Hume having to recover, and in the middle Harry Winter gets it into Gilchrist. Gilchrist lays off Thompson, Bradley Barnes recovering it, and Jay Lynch comes off his line to catch that one and slow it down. Salford again. Richie's just been lax in the middle there. It's too lax for me.
Yeah, I wonder whether they might consider switching him to a wide berth, because if he loses it in a wide position, it's not as dangerous, whereas when he's losing it in that centre circle, it is causing his own side some problems. So
another good challenge from Sam Baird on Mike Phoenix. I've got to say, even though he's conceded 2 goals, I've been really impressed by Sam Baird. So Salford do make the change. Coming off is Mike Phoenix, the man who is marked up quite well this afternoon. And coming on is Josh Hine, who's no pushover, is he?
No, he definitely isn't, and Josh Hine, of course, he's been starting many a game, hasn't he, for Salford in recent weeks, so he'll be looking to prove a point as he comes on, but it's very much a squad game here at Salford because of the strength in depth. Also, just been shown by Phil that Gary Stockforth on his final appearance for British Australia's picked up a yellow card in true Stockforth style as well.
Shock there for Gaz. Wish him all the best in Australia. He was a big player for us last season. He has been for Stockport, and no doubt you'll miss him, to be honest. Josh Hine's first action of this game's going to be to take a long throw in, what he's famed for, seemingly. Comes towards the near post, is missed by Billy Priest. He bounces through the area, and that's criminal again, FC. Letting it bounce across 3 yards out from goal, and again, Salford needs to get the end of one of those and make it 3-0 sooner rather than later, but FC got to be careful with them. It's just a little bit unsure at the back. There seems to be a lack of communication.
Yeah, I don't think they defended the box well to high balls, to long throws, to corners, set pieces all day particularly well. And as you say, missed by Billy Priestley, then missed by everybody else as well. But as you say, Joshua Hine coming on, so that's another threat with a long throw.
And his second touch is going to take throw from the other side for Josh Hine. He comes in, loops in again towards the near post. This one's cleared by Chris Chandler. And it's picked up by George Thompson, trying to inspire his team. Gets into Jason Gilchrist. FC have got overlap here. So played through by Sam Sheridan to the left side into Kieran Glynn, but sliding challenge coming in from Brad Barnes stops that one. Out for a throw into FC United on the far side as FC's version of Dirty Old Town rings out from the SMRE. Yet to really hear the Salford fan, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. There's a fair number of them. Dale Tong on this right hand side, taking on Paddy Brough. He squares into Thompson. Thompson right foot to shot. Again, he's dragged that one wide. He's claiming it took a deflection. I'm sure he just dragged that one 2 wide, but as corner for FC United in Manchester from their left-hand side. The fans again pick up the voices, trying to inspire the team in the final 17 minutes here. Darlington 1, Curzon Ashton 3. I think it's Gainsborough winning 3-1 at Harrogate Town. That's a result. A bit of a shock. So Thompson getting ready to take this corner against an in-swinger. Doesn't beat the first man near post. Johnny Hume heading it clear for Salford City. Picked up by Chandler. Chandler back in the middle into Dale Tong. Tong laying it off, and FC trying to work from the back. They've left all the men up, and the cross comes in from Sam Sheridan, looking to get George Thompson on the end of it, but it's a little bit too much for the midfielder to get to, as it goes out for goal kick to Salford City. 15 minutes to go, still leading 2-0 here at Broadhurst Park. Salford City as they prepare to bring Craig King on. And you've got to say, 15 minutes to go, time and chances run out for FC. They've been limited in the game anyway.
Yeah, they have, and you just saw there a bit of signs of desperation. The first sort of long ball from FC United, which was just went out of play. No real big target man up there. They have the FC United, and I think Salford will be quite happy if they're going to go long ball for the last 15 minutes.
Just to say that, I noticed Tom Greaves coming in from warm-up. I wonder if he's got a part to play in this one yet. Salford are going to make substitution before this throw-in comes. So Craig King ready to come on, and I think it's George Green coming off, and he should get a nice round of applause. It's been a very impressive debut, 75 minutes for George Thompson, 2 assists, and at the moment been man of the match. But Craig King come on, and again, it's a good substitution to bring on and keep Salford up the pitch.
Yeah, last 10 minutes he's definitely flagged, hasn't he, Will? But before then he's had an excellent debut, and as you say, 2 assists. done his job for the team defensively as well, and looked very bright, hardly ever given the ball away, and it's been a fantastic debut from Green.
Substitute as well for FC United Manchester. Chris Champion's coming off for Tom Greaves, which is surprising. Don't know if he's going 3 at the back, put Dale Tong in the middle.
Well, you're 2-0 down, you've got to take a risk, haven't you? Well, I suppose it's not that surprising. But, you know, what's the difference if you lose 2-0 or you lose 3 or 4?
All difference.
I don't think they're getting relegated or going for promotion. They're in a nice, safe mid-table side, so yeah, an extra striker, why not?
Salford gets back underway. It's flipped on by Johnny Hume into Richie Allen. FC United player goes down. They made all 3 subs. They can't afford to get an injury now. The Spurs play back up the other end, so I'll just take a break. So, Phil, what you made of Green's debut? He's gone off now, so 2 assists. Like you say, he's put himself about, and I don't think he's played too much football this season. For 76 minutes, he's done very well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's impressed me. He's got a great left peg. I always like to see a left-footed player put inside, and he's not afraid of putting his foot in. He's won headers that he had no right to win. And all in all, probably a very, very satisfactory debut from his point of view. But even more so for the 2 lads down there. They've got another problem because they've got to try and keep him in the team, and that means they're upsetting somebody who's not in the team. So great signing from what I've seen today.
Yeah, it could be a very shrewd and very important one as we go into the closing few months of the season. FC get this one clear, headed clear by Simon Grant. Scott Burton keeps it alive, gets into Richie Allen's nice ball. He's got King, Hume and Heinel racing ahead of him. Allen gets out to King on the left hand side, where he likes to be to try and cut in from. Craig King still going on to the top of the box, squares it to Allen. Lot of space to look up and shoot here. Allen right footed, just wide to the far post from Allen. But he had the space to slow it down, had the space to look up, had the shot, and well, someone's just shouted there. He's like, what I was going to say, too easy.
Yeah, Tremont Richie Allen as well, isn't it? Working some space, putting it onto his right foot and then trying to curl it round the defender and into the corner. That occasion just wide, but with his radar, if he gets another attempt, some more room in that position, he'll probably put it in the back of the net.
Scored a similar goal against Nantwich in the penultimate game of last season for the playoffs. Similar position, got that one in. Very important point it turned out. But he's not had so much luck in front of goal this season. Jordan Hume chasing to try and keep that one in, goes into the brick wall in front of his own fans. It's now FC Files 4, Altrincham 1. The Altrincham who conceded midweek, didn't they? They're not going to win the league. It's mathematically impossible for them now, and now it's it wasn't already over, it is now. You have got to feel sorry for them, haven't you, a little bit?
I could have told them they weren't going to win the league when they appointed Neil Young in the summer, to be fair, Will, but obviously he only had, how many games did he have there? 6 games, and he's made a right mess. He's made a right mess, and they just haven't been able to recover since. They're on to their 3rd manager now, and unfortunately for them, it isn't getting any easier.
I suppose it's a case for them of preparing to go down against the NPL, and that's no easy league to get out of, as Hyde have shown recently, and couple of other teams.
It isn't, but they'll probably be the biggest team that's been in there for quite a while, won't they? And they'll have to be favourites for that. But they haven't really sorted out who's going to be their manager for next season yet. So I think that's on the agenda. A lot of Altrincham fans are not pleased that isn't sorted, and that their manager in there is still only there to the end of the season.
Cross coming in from Patrick Brough from free kick, angled into the middle of the goal. Priestley got his head to it. Basso got his hands to it though. Matched it well. He gets FC going quickly. Thrown out to Thompson on the left hand side. Good ball in, good header from Priestley. Basso making the save there. So Josh Hine intercepts the challenge, slides in to keep that one alive, flicked on by Jason Gilchrist. Jay Lynch has come a long way out of his net, but he gets the ball clear right upfield, which is what he's got to do. Craig King jumps for it, shoulders it down into Jordan Hume. Hume bringing out his left hand side. He's got King ahead of him, but he cuts back to go towards goal. Runs into players, gets us out to Craig King on the byline now. King taking on Dale Tong. Still going Craig King, tries to slip it through to Jordan Hume. Stretch Leeds did so, but it's Dale Tong who's winging it clear for FC United. Gets out to the right hand side to Winter, back to Tong. Tong with the clearance, comes off Scott Burton. Back again off Dale Tong after a throw in Salford City in front of the home dugout, where I think Carl Modgson looks a little bit out of disbelief and out of ideas.
Just a minute ago when FC gave the ball away in midfield, he had a little paddy in the technical area. I don't think he's too impressed with his side's performance this afternoon, but to be fair, you've got to give the credit to Salford because they just haven't let FC United play. And I think in the first half we were talking about FC causing Salford problems down the wing, but Salford clearly shut that off in the second period as well.
It's now Basso. The clearance for FC from the top of his box. Simon Grant wins the second ball with that one. Scott Burton then getting onto it. It's played back forwards over the top by Sam Sheridan. Easily into the arms of Jay Lynch, who I'm sure as he enters the last 10 minutes going to start taking his time. Still 2-0 to Salford. Another clean sheet will do them good. That'll be 13th in the season. As we were saying earlier, going into the game against the FC Foul next Saturday. We're winning 4-1 today. Seems to be pretty clear at the top of the league. That was a very good game early in the season as well. 3-3 at Mill Farm. Laptop's just having a paddy. So Craig King on the left hand side for Salford. The more important matters in hand here. Into the box, still going with it. Craig King. It's Dale Tong who got his body in front of him. It's fouled by Craig King. He pushed him down. A free kick for FC United.
Yeah, just trying to work his way past him, but he was good defending in the end. And as you say, just a little push. But Salford will be more than happy inside the FC United half. Plenty of the ball, and FC United not causing any problems.
I suppose that's the disappointing thing. I mean, you expect from FC United they'll come out, they'll have a go, they'll have chance after chance, and they've only forced Jay Lynch into one save all game. And I know speaking to friends who I've got here at FC, they were saying, we're unlucky against Harrogate, so we had a lot of chances, and that seems to be the story this season. But today, just nothing's really come off, and that's a testament to Salford's good defending. But at the same time, I've got to say I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, especially the second half. I think they've shown nothing, have they? And I think once that second goal went in, it's killed them off, hasn't it? But they can only play really one way, can't they? If they get
FC way.
Yeah, which is generally passing on the ground, and if it doesn't happen for them, then there's not really a plan B.
I think one of my fondest memories of FC when he used to go up there was they always do it the hard way. It seems to be a very Greater Manchester thing to do. You've got to do it the hard way. I remember promotion semi-finals and last games of the season. So you never know, they could still swing the surprise in the final 8 minutes, but so far they haven't really shown it. So Josh Hahn lining up another long throw for Salford from this near side. Goes in towards the near post. Grant's come for it, splits it on, it's blocked, it's loose in the box. Nottingham skies it over the bar from maybe 3 or 4 yards out. It's a very tight angle for him to work with. He had the space, but he's just leaning back as he took that one, and well, maybe he's going for a place in the Six Nations.
Very harsh. It was on his left foot, to be fair. And we talked about in that he's had 6 or 7 goals, but he could be in double figures. And there's another chance from there. He just causes problems in the opposition's box. But again, FC United, a high ball, and they just can't deal with it. And that's 4 or 5 times that's been the case this afternoon.
Thompson in the middle now, plays back to Sheridan, looks up and plays out to Tong on the right hand side. It's close in field, Del Tong does in the centre circle. And the ball's played down the right hand side to Harry Winter. Seems to be playing a little bit more forward in the dying stage of this match. Tong slides, plays the ball back into Sam Baird. Baird's back to Basso. Phil, you've seen quite a lot of young players. I expect Sam Baird's name that we're going to see for the next 2 years. Impressive, if not moving on to bigger and better things. Yeah,
I mean, they're doing well this year bringing the kids through FC, and I talked to Carl about this after about 3 or 4 games. They've got a potential goal mine here because they've got 4 or 5 of them that are just either in the team or just outside the team. And he's really impressed me today, Sam Baird. I've been really, really impressive. He's not flapped at all. He's had experienced strikers up against him, and to be fair to him, you couldn't put the goals down to him. He's not put a foot wrong, really. It's been interesting watching him because I've never seen him play a first team game before. So yeah, I think they've done well to unearth such good talent, and they're all local lads as well, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. We said earlier, FC have got a bit of a history of bringing good centre-backs through as well. I think of Charlie Ragland, Tom Davis.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the ones who've let them down today, if that's the right phrase, it's their experienced players. They've not really shone at all, have they? I mean, Harry Winter put a couple of good challenges in early on in the first half, and he's done nothing since. And you're a man down in midfield then if that's the case, because he's just not put his foot on the game.
Tom Greaves, yes, we already mentioned him yet, is again missed out on a long ball forward as Baird slides in, gets the ball back to Basso. It's now Kidderminster Harriers 3, Nuneaton Town 0. Second battering in a week for Nuneaton after a 4-0 loss at Moor Lane on Tuesday. Scott Burton's caught there in the middle by Harry Winter. Looks to be he'll run that one off, I'm sure, knowing Scott. Sam Sheridan now on the right hand side, threads ball through to George Thompson. FC have had quite a bit of possession in the last couple of minutes here, trying to build something up, make for an interesting finale. Sheridan squares it across to Winter, Winter out to the left hand side. It's picked up by Jerome Wright, the captain. Another one of those has been quiet, but it's going to byline now. Does get the cross into the far post. Coming in is Trey King, I think, who's headed it behind for a corner to FC United in Manchester. 5 minutes to go till full time, and obviously another couple of minutes to be added on to that one. So a goal now will change things and spice things up.
Yeah, a bit of oomph into the final few minutes on it, but Craig King there, he had to play safe and put that out for a corner because he couldn't take a chance.
Sheridan's come over to take it from this near side. Low one fizzed in. It's headed in the middle, comes to far post, brought down, shot comes in, cleared by Simon Grand on the floor there. There's Salford again getting away with one. It's a loose man at the back post, and FC still trying to come forward. Right, plays the ball through the middle to Tom Greaves. Now he's at the top of the box, has left the ball behind him. Patrick Brough gets it clear. He's down on his haunches. Jay Lynch is down on his back. FC United have another corner.
Yeah, I think it was a brilliant save by Jay Lynch there. He was out quickly and smartly right at the feet of the player, and he's injured himself. Talk about brave Jay Lynch, and he's done it again, and that was a fantastic save.
Yeah, Phil?
Yeah, he's put his body on the line there, because after the save the player's gone straight through him, and there's no blame attached there. The lad's following the ball. It's brilliant goalkeeping, that, because you know there's a chance you're going to get hurt. Let's hope it isn't much worse than just a quick, impact injury, and he can get up and get on with it, because they've used all the subs, and you don't want to be putting anybody in net and playing the last few minutes with 10 men.
I think you'd probably be looking to put Michael Noscombe in there if Lynch had to go off. 6'4", quite tall. He's probably got a good chance, better than any.
Yeah, I don't think they'll want to do that though, will they? Will, and they'll just take the time with Jay Lynch, won't they? And hopefully he'll be okay there.
I'm just saying that as well. The attendance got read out, 4,185 here at Broadhurst Park. That's fantastic attendance, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, there's all the FC United fans have come out. Sure, the Salford. We don't really know how many Salford because it's because it's sort of segregated. So I don't know whether we'll know how many Salford fans exactly have come. And I'm sure there's a few neutrals here as well, seeing maybe their first game of non-league football or first in a long time.
I think it's good 400-500 from Salford. Another pyrotechnic device has gone off in the Salford end as red smoke drifts its way out. Jay Lynch is still down.
Please call it a flare, Will.
Smoke bomb.
A smoke bomb flare, it's not a pyrotechnic device.
It's, still waiting for Jay Lynch to get back to his feet. I hope he's okay. Like we say, he's been a massive keeper, massive part of that Salford backline. He's back on his feet now. Physio's finished with him. And I think he's going to be all right to continue. Either way, we've probably got a good 3 or 4, 5 minutes even injury time to come on at the end of this. Actually still waiting to take the long throw in. And Salford, I suppose that's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? Like just taking the time out and blocking some of that FC momentum. Right with the throw in, coming in long. It's towards the near post. It's made back out. Fagbowler with the ball back in. Turn on the shot. Header comes in from Gilchrist. Lynch with a save. Palming it away. He makes one of those again. There wasn't quite a full dive, but he had to get over there and he palmed that one out of danger. And he's won a goal kick as well. Yeah,
normally it's a save you probably normally expect him to make, but obviously he's still suffering the effects of that injury, so that's what makes it a better save. But some pressure from FC United. Where's this been for the past 85 minutes? That's the big question. It's a bit too little too late from the home side, I feel.
Goal kick comes in from Lynch. The home man of the match has been voted as number 4 Tom Brown, which they've given Sam Bear's performance been an interesting choice. So we'll start having to think about that one shortly. Ball comes off Nottingham and it's kept in by Sam Sheridan. Looking up, trying to play a ball down the middle and try and get a goal back for FC United Manchester into the last minute plus whatever added time there is. Worked out to the right hand side to Dale Tong. Tong with the ball back into the middle. Kieran Glynn on the ball now. Looks up, thinks about the shot, plays it into George Thompson, who plays it back to Sam Sheridan. FC got a lot of numbers forward here. Right, looking to get the cross in, does so. Headed clear by Simon Grand after Greaves appealed away from him. And it's cleared by Salford, brought back down by Wright. Sam Sheridan dispossessed by Johnny Hume. Wright wins it back though. Crosses it into the middle. Simon Grand clears it. King heads it down into Rich Allen, who brings it down onto the floor and plays it into Johnny Hume in the middle now. Hume turning and running to the right hand side. Just needs to get that ball down into the corner. Gets past his man as well. He's got Josh Hine to aim for in the middle. He's pulled back by Kieran Glynn, and that's perfect scenario for Salford. Really good running from Jordan Hume, and he's won the free kick in that right hand channel.
Yeah, running in the first minute, running in the 89th minute. That's Jordan Hume, and he's won them a free kick in the corner. They couldn't be more happy with that. They'll take their time over that as the board goes up for 5 minutes added time. Well,
5 minutes. Long time. Salford will be thinking, hopefully he can hang on for 5 minutes. FC will be thinking, can we get 2 goals in 5 minutes? Well, not with Jay Lynch in that sort of form. We're still waiting for the free kick to come in. Richie Allen's going to take it instead of Michael Nottingham. Got an assist from a set piece on Tuesday even. Whips one in. It's punched up in the air by Adriano Basso. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's managed to clear the stand with that, and it's a corner for Salford City, and that's just indecisive, quite poor keeping.
It's silly. It's just ridiculous. I hope you choose me words carefully, but it's needless because he could have caught that one-handed and mine two-handed, and now he's put his team back under pressure. Salford are not going to rush to take the corner. He's had to come and get the ball himself to make sure Richie Allen goes with it. It's funny how the referee always looks at the Salford player and points at his watch when they, just a minute ago FC had a throw and he wasn't telling them to rush on with it. So, again, like I said a few minutes ago, just see the game out, be clever. That was very, very clever from Jordan Hulme to get this far.
Allen whips corner into the near post, it's in the net, and I think Hume reels away celebrating. I think that was an own goal. Too perfectly honest by Jerome Wright. Hume's going to claim that one though at the near post. Again, poor marking by FC United in Manchester. Great ball whipped in from Richie Allen, and Salford lead 3-0 here at Broadhurst Park.
Yeah, I thought Hume it was Hume's header. I wasn't sure whether you saw something different. Maybe my eyes have deceived me, I don't know. But it looked like a Jordan Hume header, simple into the back of the net. We'll go suspect savers in the morning. Meanwhile, Salford don't care because they're 3-0 up, and it's another one from a set piece. We've mentioned it all day. FC United haven't been able to defend them, and I think that's probably a fair reflection on this afternoon's game.
I think I'm going to get some rubbish for that in the morning.
Well, to be fair, Jordan's created that goal. I was just saying, as the corner was being taken, without his clever work, that corner wouldn't have happened in the first place, so he deserved to be on the end of it. And anything to see that daft little dance.
Yeah, definitely. It's 3-0, Jordan Hume with the goal there. Sorry, Jordan. That's my bad. I'll apologise to him afterwards. He's on the ball again in the middle here. For Salford, high-flying, happy days, whatever you want to use. 4-0 midweek, 3-0. I think last Saturday's 4-2 defeats well and truly forgotten.
Yeah, Jordan Hume goal, own goal. Who cares at the end of the day, right? It's 3-0, that's all that matters, and it's another impressive performance, an impressive result for Salford today.
So full-time at Kidderminster Harriers, they've won 4-0 against Nuneaton Town. FC looking to break forward again here. Wright plays it through. Billy Priestley getting there, making the challenge. So 2 minutes ago, thoughts on man of the match then, Joe?
I think I'll give it to the Davidson George Green. I think he did tire before he came off, but his opening sort of 65-minute salvo was absolutely fantastic for a player who's only just come in, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come from him.
Ball played through by Kieran Glinton, sent by Nottingham, and it's Josh Hine up on his heels now, racing down the right-hand side, runs into Jordan Fagbola. It's throw to come for FC United Manchester on the far side. Full-time, Harrogate Town 1, Gainsborough Trinity 3. So more drop points in the mid-table here. Salford looking to pull clear. Is it still Halifax 0, Stockport 0?
It is still 0-0. You wouldn't expect that before today's game, would you? The way Halifax have, how many goals was it? 10 in the last 2 games at least. But Stockport haven't conceded a goal away from home since November, so maybe we should point at that and see that they're good away from home at keeping clean sheets, and it looks like they're going to keep another.
Ball over the top from Bad Barnes for Jordan Hume to chase down up against Sam Baird. Jordan Hume gets in there and wins it, plays it back out off Baird for a throw-in to Salford. Just over a minute to go. FC Twitter saying that Josh got a yellow card there. I didn't see that one. Brandished. Full-time Tamworth 1, Boston 0. Either way, he's going to take throw-in now. It's 50 seconds left. And it's going to be a very important victory for Salford as well. So Josh Hines drying the ball off on the far side. Loops in towards near post. Nottingham's broken clear. Comes off Bairds. It's going to be run out clear. Nottingham putting a challenge in from behind. Kieran Glynn saves his feet though. Referee plays a good advantage. George Thompson now coming forward. Rolls ball through for Greaves. Up against Burton. Cuts aside onto his right foot. Greaves. Jay Lynch stays well down close to his left hand side. And that's an important save to keep a clean sheet as well. Particularly given he's been injured, and I suppose that sort of summed up FC United's afternoon.
It has. They wouldn't have been happy, I don't think, Jay, if that had happened. Where they got it was a counter attack, and it was like 3-on-3 there. We don't know why, but they got away with it in the end.
Lads, you happy with that one?
Yeah.
Good, isn't it?
We want 4. We want 4.
Not quite time for that. We're over 5 minutes at a time. Now it's just down to the referee. Fag ball with the ball in the middle, and Sheridan. So Sheridan plays it into Thompson, back to Sheridan. It's short for him. Rich Allen picks this one up. So sliding in was George Thompson, who wins it. It's a good challenge in from the midfield. Comes striker. Bradley Barnes intercepts that interception though. Bounces for Jerome Wright. 30 seconds over the added time. Jerome Wright still coming forward. Greaves plays it back out to right on the left hand side. He's got Nottingham for company. Nottingham standing his ground there, gets out for a corner. Surely the referee's got to blow for full time here. He's going to give Nottingham a yellow card. And, maybe a final chance for SC to get what would just be a consolation goal in this. Sheridan going over to take the corner for the hosts. So goalless full time at the Shea, 0-0. There. Right, so with the corner here. Comes in towards near post, headed cleared by Brad Barnes. Comes to on the edge of the box. George Thompson with the shot, comes off Billy Priestley. It's a good block out for another corner. 36 minutes 20 played. Don't know if the referee's not checked his watch or what here.
I don't know, but Billy Priestley there, great sliding challenge in the first half, and that's a great block there again. He's had a great game.
The ball in from right to the far post, and this time it comes off Priestley. Referee does blow the full-time whistle. Full-time, FC United and Manchester 0, Salford City 3. That's a massive, massive result for the Yammies. One they'll be very proud of, and one they deserve this afternoon.
Yeah, it was an all-round brilliant away performance. Solid at the back, good going forward. Put away their chances, 2 again from set pieces. And yeah, a well-deserved 3-0 victory for Salford going into next week.
The goals coming in the first half from James Poole, who went off injured. A header in the second half from Michael Nottingham, then finished off by Jordan Hulme in extra time. Just to wrap things up, Jay Lynch just receiving treatment in the middle of the pitch there. I don't think he's fully 100% right after that challenge, but he's done his job, kept a clean sheet. The strikers have done their job. 3 goals to the good, and don't think there's really anything you can fault about the Yammies today.
There isn't really at all. I mean, if you want to have one little minus, is the fullback struggled for sort of a 20-minute period in the first half, but we're really nitpicking when we're picking that out, because it's been a really good away performance from Salford from back to front, and goalkeeper Jay Lynch there with a fantastic block to keep his clean sheet. He's got an injury in the process, but he won't care because he's got his clean sheet.
I feel your thoughts on that. How important and what sort of impact's that going to have on the playoff race?
Well, looking at the results around them as well, it's been a great result because the teams around have dropped points. Jay's has got a bit of ice on his elbow there. I think the thing is, I said to you before kick-off that, you know, you take 4 points from this game and the final game, and if they win today, it makes that game a bonus if they win it, because I don't think anybody's expecting 6 points from these 2 games. So it's been a really, really professional performance. Everybody on the park has played the part. It'd be difficult to say who was the best player on the park. For me, even though you've won 3-0, I'd make Jay Lynch the man of the match, because he's made 3 saves at 3 very, very vital points in the game. And he's thrown himself into saves when it's 2-0, when most keepers would think, well, I'll put an arm out, if I save it, I save it, and if I don't, I don't. And he's got injured at 2-0, and he's come out and made another good save, and from the breakaway from that, we made it 3-0. So it's been a tremendous team performance. As I say, everybody's played the part, even the ones you've not mentioned much in the commentary, the ones who've just gone about the business. Bradley Barnes.
Scott, we've not really talked about today.
I don't think I've heard you mention Scott, and yet he's done what he does best. He just goes about, he breaks up play. The only thing he's not done today is had one of his wild shots from 30-40 yards. And I think he'll forgive you for saying that. He's had a really good game. I think there hasn't been a single player in blue today who's had a bad game. Great result, great performance.